Right, gents, the date was the 13th of July 2021 when a new era in the online business world was born. Alex Hormozi published his book $100 million Offers, and it very quickly became the Bible of offer design. It was absolutely revolutionary for one main reason, because it planted the seed in everybody's mind that the only thing you need to be successful in business is a banger offer. But 4 years later, the high-ticket services world has been absolutely flattened by people creating the most lackluster, copy-paste, low-ticket products ever. On the cover, they'll make these ridiculous promises with insane guarantees and bonuses that sound too good to be true. Mostly because they are. They just don't bloody exist. And by proxy, because of what I call offer inflation, the question is no longer how do I make a banger offer? The question, if you're looking to scale an online business in 2025, is how do I make a banger offer in an ocean of banger offers? Well, that's exactly what we're going to be answering in this video. So welcome to part 2 of a 6-part mini-series in which I'm going to be sharing exactly how I'm building my business to 20K a month in just the next 4 months. Without funnels, without cold outreach, and without selling something I don't give a crap about. And most importantly, are having fun. So if you haven't already, go ahead and check out part 1 of this mini-series, which I'm going to link up here so that you can understand exactly how our model works. Now, especially if you're new here, you're probably wondering who the hell is this devilishly handsome, surgically eloquent young man with unrivaled flow and magnetic charm? Well, you're going to find that out in part 1, so go check it out first. But if you've been a good boy or girl, you know, the 2% of my audience that is girls, you've watched part 1 and you've done the homework, so let's go ahead and dive in, taking it to the whiteboard. Right, gents, let's have some fun. Now, I'm sure we all know this absolute stud, Alex Hormozi, and the big crux that we're going to take a look at is the value equation from $100 million offers. Now, the big idea here is that for us to perceive or to give people perceived value of what we do, we have to take a look at the value equation. And it starts off at the top, which is somebody's dream outcome. Okay, what is the ultimate dream outcome? And how much do they believe that they can achieve it, the perceived likelihood of achievement? And on the bottom of it, we have the amount of time that it takes in your time delay and the effort and sacrifice of getting there. Now, with this equation, we basically want to make the dream outcome and how much they believe they can achieve that dream outcome and make it as big as possible. And at the bottom, decrease the amount of time and the amount of effort and sacrifice that they have to put into it. And what this does is that it absolutely spikes the value of what you're selling, in theory. Now, the only issue with this is we can come across what I like to call the Bullshido master effect. So how I love to explain this, and there's a reason why Steven Seagal is here, is because especially if you grew up in the area that I grew up in, Kung Fu and Aikido were the coolest things on paper.
I know Kung Fu.
You know, in movies, it was everywhere. It was the big fling of the century turn. The whole stereotype of the guru was born, where the whole idea was, I can do this cool thing and you must follow me because I know this and you will get this outcome. Okay. Now, this can all seem great. It can seem fantastic at first glance, but the second that you take a look behind the guru model, it all falls apart and the world's waking up to it. Okay. The gurus are really falling apart nowadays. And through the Bullshido master effect, rather than having banger offers, we have what I call bullshit offers. And an example of a bullshit offer is I'm going to help you get jacked, lose your weight, and get a girlfriend in 7 days with no exercise, no diet, and 0 work. And if you don't get the results, I'll buy your next house and make 6 figures for you as a bonus. It's bullshit. It makes absolutely no sense, but this is what offers are starting to look like, and hence why I lovingly call them bullshit offers. We need to quintessentially redefine the rules of the game, and a principle you're going to see me mention a lot is that different is typically better than better. We don't operate with these clown level offers, which came from people who read the SparkNotes version of $100 million offers. We want to essentially follow 5 offer rules to be able to create a banger offer, and a banger offer that stands out in an ocean of banger offers. And the first rule is that in an ocean of absolute banger offers, you are the banger offer. Danko talks about this a lot, where he says you are the niche. And the key idea that you guys need to grasp here is that it's no longer about what you know, it's about who you are and the tribe that you can create for others, the us versus them mentality. And it's this whole idea of making people believe that you're a part of us, which is super big, and you will become this because you are a part of us. Okay? Aspirational identity change is the big driver for most change within people. It's not about what you know. It's not about what outcome you can get them. It is about the it is about the aspirational identity that they tie themselves to, and how much they actually relate with you as a person individually, given that you actually show the right things. And if we take a look at the book, Blue Ocean Strategy, lovely book, but I'm going to distill the whole idea of the book into a couple sentences for you. There's the idea of red oceans and blue oceans. Now, red oceans are where industries are defined and companies try to outperform their rivals. So basically, in this rat race of banger offers, bullshit offers, that's happening right now, we are in a complete red ocean. But the truth is we don't need to be. We can choose to operate in what is called a blue ocean, because in blue oceans, competition just isn't relevant because the rules of the game are waiting to be set. That's what we do here. We set standards. We have the ability to do that as the next generation of leaders. And the advantage of operating in a blue ocean is that you simply choose to not operate in an ocean of bullshit offers by being uniquely you. You can't compete with anyone if you are your only competition. And the best way to future-proof yourself from competition is to have none. And we'll talk about exactly how you communicate and apply this law in video 3 and 4 using concepts like the 6-figure simplicity stack, the dream perfect client callout, and the authentic authority framework. But this breaks down the big idea. You are the niche. You can choose to operate in a blue ocean where you set the standards. That brings us to rule number 2, simple ascension. Now, if you guys are taking notes in the last video, you know about the trust gap. And the whole idea behind rule number 2 is to bridge the trust gap with small jumps. Because, see, when you use funnels, you are asking for massive commitments. You are asking someone to go from a stranger to being a lead to being a high-ticket client, all in the space of a couple of hours to a couple of days, which is really, really hard to do. And that's why you need to be able to close on the back end. That's why you need to be able to have upsells, downsells, cross-sells, etc., because funnels just aren't profitable for this reason. They are trying to ascend you too quickly, and they make it extremely complex. Whereas using flywheels, we are playing the long-term game. And we get people the opportunity to simply ascend from being a stranger to a follower, take the next step up to being a lead. After that, jumping from being a lead to a customer, from a customer to a client, and a client to finally a case study. Because rather than trying to ascend people immediately into our offer, we already stand out because we are giving people the opportunity to raise their hand when the time is right and for them to make the jumps themselves, but making it as stupid, streamlined, simple as we possibly can. And just a reminder of exactly how we do this, taking a look at our stupid, simple scaling flywheel again. Once again, we use one daily post to attract people to become leads. And this is the jump from strangers to followers to leads. It's all done within the one daily post. And from there, we want to educate our followers and leads using our branding bridge, which is, again, email and long form content, to be able to become customers and take the next step up the ascension ladder. And finally, we want to be able to convert them using straightforward selling to become clients. And clients, we transform them using our one-pointed offer into case studies. Okay. Super, super simple. But I just want you to keep this top of mind to understand that in a flywheel, we are sending people over time rather than focusing on stupid, complex ascension methods. We are using simple ascension. And because we use something like this, this is really the glue behind how the entire model works and how we can create offers that stand out from everybody else. And taking it to rule number 3, the way that we actually create one-pointed offer, and the way that we actually frame that final part is to do with the 3 Ps. We have one person who is dealing with one problem, and we make them one promise. That's it. That really is it. The rest of it comes down to packaging. We'll touch on that in a second now. But once again, one person, we solve one problem for them, and we give them one single promise. And if we take a look at exactly how I've done this, it's super simple. The one person that I help the next generation of masculine leaders scale their businesses to 20K a month, which is the single promise, the fun way without headaches and complexity. That's the headache. I mean, that's the problem. Headaches and complexity is the main problem that I'm dealing with. we have a world where we need the most masculinity to step forward and create their own leverage by creating their brands, but it seems super complex at first glance, and it can give you a really big headache, okay? So once again, you want to map out your 3 Ps, keep it super simple, and you want to basically run with it. And keep in mind, this is going to change over time as you grow and as you iterate. It's never always going to be one thing. Your offer is going to grow. You're going to change as a person. As you actually take this thing and move forward, based on what people say, you'll notice that it will change, okay? Which brings us to offer rule number 4. And these are the 4 offer laws. Now, breaking these down step by step. Rule number 1, sell the vacation, not the plane ticket. I took this from Alex Hormozy. People don't want to think about the fact that they have to travel to a destination. And the exact same thing applies to how we help our clients and how we actually market to other people. See, nobody wants to think about the fact that you have to wake up at 4 a.m, pack your bags, make sure your family is all organized, make sure that you get to the airport on time, do your boarding passes, check your luggage, sit there, wait for the flight to board, sit on a flight, be jet lagged, arrive at the place. Nobody wants to think about this stuff. They want to think about themselves sitting on that beach, having their beverage of choice, and basically the emotions that are invicted by them in that exact moment. That is what we are selling. We don't give a crap. Nobody gives a crap about the how and exactly how every single mechanism works to get them there. They want the outcome, okay? So once again, I'll repeat, sell the vacation, not the plane ticket. Make it sexy. Number 2, got this from Russell Brunson, and with our flywheel especially, because we're trying to effortlessly ascend people and keep it stupid simple, we want to make offers every single day. And the key idea here is that the more and more offers you make, the more and more money you make. So we are basically going to be taking them and making jumps every single day to give people the opportunity to move from followers to leads, to move from leads to customers, customers to clients, clients to case studies. And by doing this and interchanging it over the days and weeks, we can make some sort of offer every single day. A couple of the offers that I continuously make, I push people to my email list, which is my branding bridge. I push people from Instagram over to YouTube, and there's a whole bunch more fun stuff that you can do when you make offers every single day. And keep in mind, most of your audience won't see it anyways. So this feeling of repeating yourself is a limiting belief. You shouldn't be afraid to repeat yourself and push different ways for people to ascend up that ladder daily. Next up, simple, clear promises are easier to keep. You want to keep it super clear and super simple. For example, if you want to go ahead and tell people that you're going to give them 20 different deliverables, if I take an example from the Bullshido master and the bullshit offer, I'm going to help you lose weight, I'm going to help you get a girlfriend, I'm going to help you get a house. It gets too convoluted and it's super hard to deliver on something like that. You want to keep it stupid simple. In this case, I help you scale to 20K a month the fun way. Okay? And finally, clarity is king. You want to adhere to what I call the 3-phase rule. And the 3-phase rule is the way that you help one person, and should be broken down into 3 phases based on their biggest challenges so it's easy to explain. Okay, so in my case, how I help people get to the 20K a month mark without the headaches is in these 3 simple phases. Number 1, build an offer, the 1 pointed offer. Number 2, create content. Stupid simple, you need to attract people. And finally, you convert those people. When you can break it down phase by phase, people can follow that. Nobody wants to think about okay, but what do I do? How do I make this jump? Because it just gets them overwhelmed and it's overcomplicated. So they likely just won't step forward because of that feeling of overwhelm. And all of this brings us to rule number 5, which is general principles in your offer toolkit. So these are a couple general principles and rules that you want to stick to, especially with your offer and putting everything together. Firstly, your promise, the vacation that we talked about. You want to have a clear North Star. Does it make people more money, save them time, or make them look better naked? Does it improve their relationships? These are a couple of the questions that you need to ask yourself, but you want your promise to be stupid clear, okay? Secondly, product. The question that you need to ask yourself is, how exactly do you stand out from your competitors, okay? How are you different? In what ways? What are your mechanisms? And the best way to do this is actually to go and to take a look at what your competitors are doing. It's really simple because when you can reverse engineer what other people are doing in your niche, you can find ways to differentiate yourself. And the thing is, you will never be able to create something without having your ear to the ground and actually understanding what is happening around you. So keep in mind, we want to make it super clear and we want to have it be different. And it's part of the reason why I use the 20K a month a milestone instead of the 10K a month. Because I know everybody here is saying, I want to make 10K a month, I want to make 10K a month. But the 20K a month is not an extremely high jump, but it is something that people look at and it is different. Not very many people in my space are doing that. Next up, payment terms. The way that I like to think about this is that you always want to optimize for cash in the bank. Always. MRR is just a myth. MRR is a result of your fear to ask for more cash, and it just doesn't exist. You should not think about MRR until you are doing multiple tens of thousands of dollars every single month. It is not necessary. It's an absolute headache. And what you're going to find is that your worst clients are the ones that are typically going to take MRR. The people who come in for 1 month, they dip their toes in and cancel, they're the people you get on MRR. The best way for you to do this is to once again focus on having as much cash upfront, because the good thing is you get to reinvest this cash into your business. It really gives you that extra boost to be able to take your business to the next level and to actually grow. It is the catalyst. So you never want to go for MRR because you're going to be left broke. You're going to be left annoyed, and you're going to be left basically chasing people down, trying to collect payments over and over again. Optimize cash in the bank. Number 4, urgency and scarcity. You need to give people a reason to buy by creating urgency and scarcity. So how I like to think of this, super simple, is you need to open and close slots. Typically I do this on a monthly frequency. At the moment, completely closed. But what I'm going to be doing is at the beginning of every single month, I'm open for 7 days. And you want to make it very clear that you're only open for a certain period of time with a certain amount of slots. And by doing this, you're actually being honest, because you never want to try and take on more than you can handle. So if you can handle taking on 9 clients, you should set the cap at taking on about 7. Because by being honest and actually just telling people the fact that you have limited spaces, it does click on that scarcity switch. And number 5, it's all about how you package it up. Packaging is arguably the most important thing in what we do. It has to be congruent. So you have to lose this idea of you get this and you get this and you get this and you get this and you get this, because once again, people don't give a crap about the features. They don't matter. You have to be able to package things in a way that is easily followable. And you also need to be able to package additionals like bonuses, and you need to be able to package what your main offer is in a really simple way using the rule of 3 that I just mentioned. But the big mistake a lot of people make here is that they think the more bonuses and the more ammunition you shoot at people, the more and more they're going to want to buy from you. But it's actually the complete opposite. This is what leads us towards having a bullshit offer. Okay. And number 6, guarantees. Guarantees can leave you very, very high and dry if you don't do them the right way. So if you're getting started with no case studies yet, work with them until they get the results. That should be the guarantee that you take on. And if you have a bunch of case studies and you have a bunch of proof, you can now use the anti-guarantee, which is if you don't do the work, you don't get the results. Now, when you do this, you're also attracting your highest quality clients, because again, the people who don't have faith in you, the people who don't have faith in themselves are the ones who are going to really opt for that guarantee, and they're going to really try and look out for that guarantee. What happens if I don't make my money back is the question that's going in the back of their mind. And the second that they have a spur of doubt, or the second that they feel like something's not going the right way, they will not hesitate to pull the plug on working with you and try and get as much of their money back as possible, even if it was completely on them. Okay. So guarantees, just work with them until they get the result. Or if you have case study testimonials, if you don't do the work, you won't get the results. So stupid simple. These are the 5 offer rules. Okay, and that is it. Those are the key rules I come back to when it comes to crafting offers. Hopefully you found that valuable, and I have more stuff coming for you. If you'd like to get some more secret sauce and the actual insider insights on the day-to-day of building my business 20K a month the fun way, then go ahead and subscribe to my email newsletter, the archive access, in which I'm going to be sharing, once again, the BTS and a lot of the things that I can't really share on YouTube and Instagram. You'll be able to join the archive access using the link in the description below. Now, if you've got anything out of this video, make sure to sub and leave me a comment letting me know what you found to be the most helpful part of this video. I'm always super curious to learn your guys' thoughts and takeaways. Either way, I'm going to be right back here in the next video dropping absolute mind nukes on creating a simplified offer structure so that you can scale your company without creating 5,000 different lead magnets, offers, products, and services. And keep things stupid simple. Go ahead and click up here to see it. And if it's not out yet, then go ahead and switch on notifications to make sure you don't miss it. Right, gents, that was absolutely sick. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.